Welcome back to our channel. Today, we uncover the bold and fascinating life of Shirley MacLaine, an Academy Award-winning actress, trailblazing icon, and unapologetic free spirit. Known for her captivating performances and unconventional lifestyle, Shirley's story goes beyond Hollywood glamour. From redefining relationships to shocking the world with candid confessions, like her revelation about spending a single day with 3 different men, her life is a testament to unwavering originality. Join us as we explore the highs, the lows, and the unforgettable moments that shape this legendary figure in entertainment history. Shirley MacLaine, born Shirley MacLaine Beatty on April 24, 1934, in Richmond, Virginia, wasn't destined for an ordinary life. From the very beginning, her presence carried an air of individuality and ambition that seemed almost larger than her humble origins. Even her choice to adopt a stage name early in her career, a bold move in itself, signified her intention to create a distinct and unforgettable identity. Shirley MacLaine wasn't just a name, it became the foundation of a persona that would captivate audiences and leave an indelible mark on Hollywood. As stories of her early life surfaced later in her career, fans and media alike marveled at the journey of the young girl from Richmond who dared to dream big. Hailing from a family that supported her creative pursuits, Shirley's upbringing nurtured her inherent charisma and determination. Those close to her in her formative years recalled a young girl with boundless energy and a flair for the dramatic, qualities that hinted at a future under the spotlight. Early reports of her life described her as a natural performer, someone who could light up a room with her presence and wit, a characteristic that would define her public image for decades to come. When Shirley first stepped into Hollywood, the entertainment industry was a tough and often unforgiving place, especially for young women looking to make a name for themselves. Yet Shirley didn't just enter the industry, she burst onto the scene, unapologetically confident and armed with an undeniable talent that turned heads almost instantly. At the time, the media took notice of her striking blend of approachability and star power. Magazine profiles of the young starlet often highlighted her magnetic charm and girl-next-door relatability, which made her a favorite among audiences. As her career began to flourish, fans quickly rallied around her. Letters flooded into studios, expressing admiration for her unique ability to bring depth and authenticity to her roles. Shirley wasn't just a rising star, she was becoming a symbol of fearless ambition and individuality. The public adored her for breaking away from the cookie-cutter mold of Hollywood actresses at the time. It was as if every move she made, from her choice of roles to her sharp, independent attitude, was a deliberate declaration that she would play by her own rules. Shirley MacLaine's acting career launched with a bang in 1955, thanks to her breakthrough role in Alfred Hitchcock's The Trouble with Harry. For many, landing a role in a Hitchcock film was a daunting challenge, but Shirley's effortless charm and natural talent made it seem like she was born for the silver screen. Audiences were captivated by her sharp wit and magnetic energy, traits that stood out even in her earliest performances. The industry quickly recognized her as a rising star, and critics praised her ability to bring a fresh, relatable presence to a Hitchcock project, a rarity in an era dominated by stylized performances. Her performance in The Trouble with Harry was only the beginning of a career that would redefine versatility. Just a few years later, Shirley stunned viewers with her role in Billy Wilder's The Apartment, 1960, a film widely regarded as one of the greatest in Hollywood history. Playing the endearing yet heartbroken Fran Kubelik, Shirley showcased her unparalleled ability to balance comedy and drama. Fans adored her portrayal, with many writing letters to studios and publications praising her relatable vulnerability. Critics were equally impressed, calling her the heart and soul of the film. One review in the New York Times highlighted how Shirley's performance brought a quiet revolution to the portrayal of women on screen, applauding her for showing both strength and fragility in a way that felt authentic and groundbreaking. As Shirley continued to rise, she took on roles that cemented her status as a Hollywood heavyweight. In Irma la Douce, 1963, she reunited with Billy Wilder and Jack Lemmon to deliver a performance brimming with humor and heart. Fans couldn't get enough of her, audiences packed theaters, and the movie became a box office success, with Shirley often described as the glue holding the film together. Magazines like Variety and Time frequently placed her on their covers, celebrating her ability to elevate any film she touched. By the time Terms of Endearment 1983 came around, Shirley wasn't just a star, she was a Hollywood legend. Her portrayal of Aurora Greenway, a fiercely independent yet deeply loving mother, won her the Academy Award for Best Actress, a long overdue recognition of her immense talent. When her name was announced at the Oscars, the audience erupted into applause, with fans and colleagues alike celebrating a moment they felt was years in the making. Beyond her dazzling performances, Shirley became a symbol of change in Hollywood during the 1960s and 1970s, a time when the industry itself was undergoing a cultural revolution. As societal norms began to shift, Shirley embraced the opportunity to challenge conventions both on and off screen. She sought out roles that defied traditional expectations of women, portraying characters who were independent, complex, and unapologetically bold. Whether she was playing a single mother navigating life's challenges or a spirited woman unapologetically chasing her dreams, Shirley's performances resonated deeply with audiences who saw her as a reflection of the evolving role of women in society. Fans connected with her on a personal level, viewing her as more than just an actress. For many, she was a trailblazer who gave voice to a new generation of women striving for independence and self-expression. Fan clubs dedicated to Shirley sprang up across the country, with newsletters and meetups celebrating her work and influence. At premieres and public appearances, crowds gathered just to catch a glimpse of the actress who had redefined what it meant to be a Hollywood star. However, Shirley's impact didn't stop at her film career. Her exploration of spirituality and alternative lifestyles during this era added another layer of intrigue to her public persona. In books like Out on a Limb and Dancing in the Light, she shared deeply personal accounts of her spiritual journey, including experiences with reincarnation and meditation. While some critics dismissed her beliefs as eccentric, others admired her courage in tackling such unconventional topics. Fans, too, were fascinated, with many seeing her openness as a sign of authenticity. Letters poured in from readers who felt inspired to explore their own spiritual paths, while talk shows and magazines eagerly sought her insights on life, philosophy, and the meaning of existence. The media's reaction to Shirley's dual identity as a Hollywood star and a spiritual seeker was a mix of admiration and sensationalism. Headlines like Hollywood's Golden Girl explores the beyond-dominated entertainment sections, drawing both curiosity and controversy. Shirley, however, handled the attention with her trademark candor and wit. In interviews, she often said, "I've never been afraid to live authentically," a sentiment that resonated deeply with fans who admired her bravery. In 2011, Shirley MacLaine dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. During an interview with The Guardian, she revealed that she had slept with 3 men in a single day during the 1970s. Delivered with her signature candor and wit, the confession was both audacious and undeniably Shirley. At 77 years old, she wasn't interested in sugarcoating her life or adhering to societal norms about what a woman should or shouldn't say. Instead, she did what she has always done, spoke her truth unapologetically. The reaction was immediate and explosive. News outlets across the globe picked up the story, plastering headlines like Shirley's scandalous confession, 3 men, 1 day, and Hollywood icon breaks all the rules. Again. Tabloids reveled in the juicy details, while more serious publications analyzed the deeper implications of her bold statement. Was she making a feminist statement about women's autonomy? Or was it just another example of Shirley's larger-than-life personality? Regardless of the interpretation, one thing was clear. Shirley had once again reminded the world that she wasn't afraid to defy expectations. Fans were quick to react, flooding social media platforms with a mix of shock, admiration, and even humor. On Twitter, comments range from, "Only Shirley MacLaine could make a confession like this and still come out as a legend," to, "Why am I not surprised? Shirley has always lived by her own rules." Others shared memes and GIFs celebrating her unapologetic approach to life, cementing her status as an icon for both older and younger generations. Fan forums buzzed with discussions, with some calling her a trailblazer who had once again shattered outdated norms, while others debated whether such personal revelations were necessary. The media also seized the opportunity to delve deeper into Shirley's character and legacy. Think pieces flooded entertainment websites and newspapers, many praising her for challenging societal double standards. Writers pointed out how society often glamorizes men for their sexual exploits, but criticizes women for similar behavior, especially women of Shirley's age. Feminist publications hailed her as a symbol of empowerment, calling her confession a revolutionary act of defiance against ageism and sexism. Meanwhile, critics of her revelation accused her of seeking attention, dismissing it as a publicity stunt. Shirley, however, remained unfazed by the backlash. When questioned about the public reaction, she simply responded, "I've always believed in living authentically. If that bothers people, it's their problem, not mine." Her fellow celebrities also weighed in, with reactions ranging from praise to playful curiosity. Jane Fonda, a longtime friend and contemporary, commended Shirley in an interview, saying, "She's always been a trailblazer, on screen, off screen, and in life. I think her honesty is refreshing and inspiring." Others, like comedian Ellen DeGeneres, jokingly remarked during her show, 3 men in 1 day, "Shirley MacLaine might just be the most interesting woman in Hollywood." The comment drew laughter from audiences and kept the story in the spotlight. Beyond the headlines and social media frenzy, Shirley's confession also sparked broader cultural conversations. It challenged long-held taboos surrounding women's sexuality, particularly as they age. Commentators noted how rare it is for older women to speak openly about their desires and experiences, let alone embrace them with pride. Shirley's statement became a rallying point for many who felt stifled by societal expectations. On podcasts, radio shows, and online forums, people discussed how her words resonated with those who long for a world where women could live as freely and honestly as men. For Shirley, the confession wasn't about stirring controversy. It was about owning her story. To her, this was just another chapter in a life defined by authenticity and fearlessness. Her willingness to share even the most intimate details of her past wasn't a cry for attention, but a declaration of independence. "I've always lived my life on my own terms," she explained in a follow-up interview. "I've made mistakes, I've broken rules, and I've loved deeply, and I don't regret any of it." The timing of the confession was also significant. By 2011, Shirley had already cemented her legacy as one of Hollywood's most celebrated actresses, with an Academy Award and countless accolades to her name. She didn't need to shock anyone to stay relevant. She had already proven her worth. Instead, her revelation felt like a final, daring reminder of who she truly was. A woman unafraid to challenge norms, embrace her imperfections, and live life to the fullest. In 1954, Shirley MacLaine married producer Steve Parker, forming a partnership that would challenge societal norms and redefine what marriage could look like in an era of rigid expectations. Their union, lasting nearly 3 decades, was built on an unconventional foundation, an open relationship. At a time when monogamy was considered the cornerstone of marriage, Shirley and Steve boldly chose a path that allowed them both the freedom to explore other romantic and sexual connections. It wasn't just a daring choice for the 1950s. It was revolutionary. This arrangement, as Shirley later explained, worked for them because it reflected their shared values of trust, honesty, and independence. For Shirley, the idea of being tied down by traditional definitions of love didn't align with her free-spirited nature. "I don't believe in ownership in relationships," she once remarked in an interview. "To me, love is about respect, freedom, and the joy of connection, not about control." These words resonated deeply with her fans, many of whom admired her courage to defy the societal norms of the time. The media, of course, had a field day with their unconventional marriage. Tabloids speculated endlessly about the couple's private lives, often portraying their arrangement as scandalous or sensational. Headlines like "Hollywood's most unorthodox couple in Shirley MacLaine, breaking all the rules of love," filled gossip columns. Some outlets criticized their lifestyle, questioning how such a marriage could survive. Others, however, praised Shirley for her honesty and willingness to live life on her own terms. Serious publications, including the New York Times, even wrote think pieces analyzing how Shirley and Steve's relationship challenged the societal status quo. Fans reacted with a mix of fascination and admiration. For many, Shirley became an icon of empowerment, a woman who dared to live authentically, even in the face of public scrutiny. Letters poured into fan clubs and studios, with women thanking Shirley for showing that it was possible to prioritize personal freedom and happiness in a relationship. On social media, Shirley's philosophy on love, particularly her famous quote, "I don't need a man to rectify my existence. The most profound relationship we'll ever have is the one with ourselves," has been shared and celebrated as a timeless mantra of self-reliance and individuality. Her open marriage to Steve also sparked broader cultural conversations. Talk shows, magazines, and radio programs debated whether such a lifestyle could truly work. Feminist writers hailed Shirley as a trailblazer, pointing out how her approach to love defied the restrictive roles traditionally placed on women. By openly rejecting the idea that a woman's identity should revolve around her husband, Shirley inspired a generation of women to question their own relationships and societal expectations. Even fellow celebrities chimed in on the topic. Jane Fonda, a longtime friend of Shirley's, once praised her for living life with boldness and integrity. "Shirley has always done things her way," Fonda remarked in an interview. "She's never been afraid to break the rules, whether in her career or her personal life." Meanwhile, other stars joked about her arrangement with Steve. Comedian Joan Rivers famously quipped, "If Shirley's husband gets to date other women, I hope she at least made him do the dishes first." The remark drew laughs, but also highlighted how much Shirley's openness had become a part of pop culture conversations. Behind the media frenzy, however, was a deeply personal story. Shirley often spoke about how her marriage to Steve wasn't just about romance. It was a partnership that allowed both of them to grow as individuals. Their mutual respect and understanding were what sustained their relationship for nearly 30 years, even as they navigated the complexities of an open marriage. Steve and I had a unique connection, Shirley reflected in one interview. We gave each other the freedom to be ourselves, and that's what kept us together for so long. Despite their eventual divorce in 1982, Shirley and Steve's relationship remained a defining chapter in her life. She described their separation not as a failure, but as the natural evolution of two people who had grown in different directions. Even after their split, Shirley continued to live by the principles that had guided their marriage: authenticity, independence, and a refusal to conform to societal expectations. For her, their story wasn't about breaking rules for the sake of rebellion. It was about crafting a life that felt true to who she was. Shirley's openness about her unconventional marriage continued to inspire fans long after it ended. Women wrote to her, sharing how her story gave them the courage to rethink their own relationships and prioritize their personal happiness. On talk shows and in interviews, Shirley often encouraged people to define love on their own terms, rather than adhering to what society dictated. The most important thing, she once said, is to be honest with yourself. If you're not true to who you are, no relationship, no matter how traditional, will ever make you happy. Throughout her extraordinary life, Shirley MacLaine stood as a powerful advocate for emotional and sexual freedom, embodying a philosophy that viewed love not as an act of possession, but as a connection rooted in respect, joy, and mutual growth. For Shirley, relationships were not defined by their duration or conventionality, but by the lessons they offered and the ways they enriched her understanding of herself and the world. Whether her connections were fleeting or enduring, each relationship added a unique layer to her journey, reflecting her openness to life's complexities and her unyielding commitment to authenticity. Her perspective on love was perhaps best captured in her groundbreaking book Out on a Limb, where she famously wrote, "Love is not about ownership. It's about respect, freedom, and the joy of connection." These words resonated deeply, offering a radical rethinking of romantic relationships that contrasted sharply with the societal norms of her time. For Shirley, love wasn't about control or fulfilling traditional roles. It was about mutual respect and the freedom to grow both as individuals and as partners. This philosophy, daring and progressive, shaped not only her personal life but also her public persona, making her a beacon for those who sought to live and love on their own terms. Fans were particularly drawn to Shirley's candidness about her relationships. In interviews, she spoke with grace and humor about the challenges and joys of love, often emphasizing that no relationship, no matter how unconventional, should diminish one's sense of self. Audiences admired her willingness to defy societal expectations, seeing her as a symbol of empowerment and independence. Her openness inspired many, particularly women, who found strength in her example to pursue relationships that prioritized emotional honesty and personal fulfillment over societal approval. The media, too, took notice of Shirley's philosophy on love, often highlighting her as a trailblazer who challenged the outdated notion that women needed to be defined by their relationships. Articles and profiles praised her as a woman ahead of her time, unafraid to break free from the constraints of traditional romance. Critics and fans alike marveled at her ability to balance vulnerability and strength, showing that love could be a source of empowerment rather than limitation. Shirley's approach to love also influenced her choice of roles on screen. She gravitated toward characters who, like her, explored the complexities of human connection. From her portrayal of strong-willed women navigating heartbreak to those finding unexpected love, Shirley brought authenticity and depth to every performance. Her characters often mirrored her personal beliefs, making her performances resonate even more deeply with audiences. Behind the fame and the headlines, Shirley's personal life was a testament to her philosophy. She viewed every relationship, whether with a partner, a friend, or even herself, as an opportunity for growth and discovery. Her ability to embrace the highs and lows of love with humor and resilience set her apart as someone who truly lived by her own rules. Shirley often reflected on the lessons her relationships had taught her, sharing her insights with a warmth and honesty that made her both relatable and inspirational. Shirley MacLaine's legacy extends far beyond Hollywood's glitz and glamour, leaving an indelible mark on the worlds of film, culture, and the very concept of individuality. Renowned for her fearless authenticity and unmatched versatility, Shirley redefined what it meant to be a woman in the entertainment industry, breaking barriers and paving the way for countless generations to follow. Her life is a testament to the power of bold living, challenging conventions, embracing authenticity, and inspiring others to do the same. With a career that spanned decades, Shirley brought depth, nuance, and humanity to every role she portrayed. Her breakout performance in Alfred Hitchcock's The Trouble with Harry was just the beginning of a stellar career that showcased her ability to blend vulnerability, wit, and strength. From her heart-wrenching portrayal of Fran Kubelik in The Apartment to her Academy Award-winning turn as Aurora Greenway in Terms of Endearment, Shirley consistently delivered performances that transcended the screen. Audiences were captivated not just by her talent, but by the authenticity she brought to her characters. Strong, independent women who often mirrored her own resilience and defiance of societal norms. Her work resonated deeply with fans who saw themselves in the women she portrayed. Letters poured in from admirers praising her ability to portray life's complexities with such honesty. Fans frequently cited Shirley as a role model, a symbol of courage and a beacon of independence. As one viewer commented, Shirley made it okay to be bold and unapologetic. Watching her on screen felt like getting permission to embrace my own strength. However, Shirley's impact extended far beyond the character she played. Off-screen, her fearless approach to topics like aging, sexuality, and spirituality broke through long-held stereotypes, particularly about women in the spotlight. In an industry notorious for sidelining actresses as they aged, Shirley thrived, proving time and again that reinvention and relevance are ageless. Her openness about topics often considered taboo, such as her spiritual journey and candid reflections on personal relationships, made her a trailblazer for conversations that were both necessary and transformative. The media often celebrated her boldness, though not without a touch of sensationalism. Headlines like "Shirley MacLaine Defies Hollywood Norms Again" highlighted her ability to stay relevant while challenging outdated notions about women in the industry. Critics praised her for championing causes often overlooked, and feminist publications hailed her as a cultural icon for her refusal to conform to traditional expectations. As one writer noted, Shirley's voice isn't just heard, it demands attention. Fans rallied around her courage, flooding social media with posts celebrating her timeless relevance. Tributes to Shirley often included heartfelt reflections on how her story had inspired them. One fan tweeted, "She's not just an actress, she's a force of nature." Shirley MacLaine showed us all that life doesn't stop at 40, 50, or even 70. It only gets bolder. Her willingness to challenge societal norms extended beyond her career to her personal life. Whether through her open marriage, candid confessions, or her bold advocacy for living authentically, Shirley inspired countless individuals to embrace their truths unapologetically. She proved that being true to oneself, even in the face of criticism, is the ultimate form of empowerment. Shirley MacLaine's life is a reminder that living authentically and unapologetically can leave an indelible mark on the world. Her fearless approach to love, career, and self-expression continues to inspire audiences and challenge societal norms. Whether through her captivating roles, her bold philosophies, or her headline-making confessions, Shirley has proven that she is more than a Hollywood icon. She is a symbol of individuality and resilience. Thank you for joining us on this journey through her extraordinary life. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories about the lives of entertainment's most fascinating figures.